Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography. I'm your host, Jason. My other host is Tim. And Bill.
Hi.
And our special guest, Brian.
Hello.
And we're talking Aerosmith. We're talking Permanent Vacation. You guys know this album. Everybody knows this album. If you missed previous videos, go check out the playlist link down below. And if you like these videos, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And leave a comment down below telling Brian how to subscribe too. He needs help.
Detailed step-by-step instructions.
Step-by-step instructions. All right.
And then we'll all be hanging tough.
Yeah. My heart's been doing time. We're talking Permanent Vacation. Let me flip over to that. Okay. Well, Brian, you ain't started us off in a while. Why don't you lead us off here with Permanent Vacation?
All right, I'd be happy to, sir. All right, opener. Heart's Done Time. Gets down to business right out the gate. Bass line landing on those cadence notes, very nice. It's got a really cool touch to it. Thought it had a pretty cool hard rock chorus, very catchy. Magic touch, still has that very 80s sounding drums, which, could be good, could be bad, depending on your perspective. But is definitely very appropriate for the times. Very cool vocal production, very good lyrics, and I really enjoyed the rhythm of the vocals on this. Some of it sounded really familiar on this track, but I still couldn't place it. Had kind of a basic bluesy guitar solo. Ragdoll, big track, very catchy vocal delivery, kind of boring guitars and more boring drums, but the key changes in the verse made for pretty enjoyable listen. It's fun and easy to remember and sing along to the chorus. It's not really my taste, but it must have been a fan favorite at the time, if I'm guessing. It did sound like they were really enjoying it. Cimaraya, I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. Did not have any notes for this. Did not care. Did not take any notes for that. Do This Like a Lady. I thought that the vocal samples at the beginning with Steven Tyler sounded really cool. Loved all the big horns, big drums coming in. It sounds like Aerosmith trying to make a radio-ready type song and have some street cred as well. But it's hard not to sing along. Big, catchy choruses. I really like how they did the bridge here. St. John, for me, that was the coolest song on the record. I love the bluesy, muted, dirty guitars and the vocals for the intro. The song kind of explodes into some pretty cool heaviness and cool guitar lead. And I really liked how the vocals were layered on this track. Hangman, I felt like was a good throwback to their kind of blues of old. I really liked the big Radiohead energy here, but leaning into that bluesy feel. I really enjoyed the lyrics. I swear that I didn't know that 45 was loaded, but my memory ain't too clear. Thought that was a great line, a great delivery. Girl Keeps Coming Apart. Really enjoyed the cool saxophone parts on that. It had a lot of parts that sounded like Funky Town to me, especially during the breakdown. Angel, great ballad. I think it was a great track placement. Pretty good to be one of the later tracks on the B side. Had a good pop sensibility. I'm still a regular listener to this track. And the closer, I thought the movie was awesome. I thought it was awesome years ago. I thought it was awesome recently. The production's still a little bit dated, but I thought it was a great way to close this album.
So I guess I'll go next. So this album is actually 12 tracks long, which I think is the longest album Aerosmith has had up till this point. I mean, it's mainly been 8 or 9 / hidden track. I think maybe one had 10 tracks before now. So this was a little bit longer of a listen, which was okay. Granted, full disclaimer, so my notes here might be a little bit of a hot take, but that's okay. That's what I'm here for. Heart's Done Time. Stereotypical build for a shitty hair metal opener. It happened. Magic Touch. Okay. mainstream Tyler-like vocals coming through, or more Steven Tyler-like vocals coming through here. Actually, I thought that was a very decent follow-up. Ragdoll, I said, was more like a stomp beat classic where you just get a stomp, clap, and yep, that's what you're gonna do with Ragdoll. Uh Samurai, I thought it was actually an okay guitar intro, going back to kind of what they were doing beforehand. I felt like with some of that music. Dude Looks Like a Lady, Drag Song of the Century. Kind of Ragdoll Part 2 at times. However, it works. It's catchy song. It does its job. St. John, I said I wasn't a fan of blues. Very lively blues and a very solid song on this album. Actually, that I was I St. John potential top song contender. Hangman Jury was more or less, I felt like it was just magic touch with some crescendos. Can't talk. It was pretty meh for me. Wasn't really a big fan of Hangman Jury. Girl Keeps Coming Apart. Vocals, they sounded forced at times almost. Like he was trying to make the lyrics and everything fit in. It doesn't sound smooth from like a song perspective. Angel, Love Stinks? Nope, never mind. It's Angel coming on. And my endorphin rush just crashed because, Love Stinks is an awesome song, and I love it. Angel, it's okay, but it's not Love Stinks. I will give it that. It sounds different from everything else on the album. It's good. It's just not what I wanted to hear when I heard the opening notes. Permanent Vacation. All right, actually a pretty fun sounding song also. Like that was again a very good song. I'm Down. Going back to Beach Boys 60 rock sounds. All right, I'll take it at this point. Not bad, just not necessarily my cup of tea. The movie, okay, it's different, but not in a good way. I didn't like it.
Tim knows. I know. I'm going next.
Go for it.
Let me have it.
Give it to me, Jason.
All right. This is the first Desmond Child record. I got a soft
Someone else
spot.
has mentioned old Desi.
Yeah, it's been a while since we talked about old Desi. We're also going to talk about somebody else that we like to talk about a lot here. I got a soft spot for this record. I like Heart's Done Time. It's Joe Perry kicking some ass. Magic Touch, that's Mutt-Lange Def Leppard. Saying that, the vocal melody is crazy good on the chorus. Ragdoll, hey, it's the drum intro that Nickelback ripped off. Go watch our Nickelback review for that. Side-by-side comparison. I love Ragdoll, no shame. It's fun, reminds me a little of earlier Aerosmith. Samurai sounds like 1987. Could have been used in a Top Gun ripoff movie. I love it, not sorry. Dude Looks Like a Lady, it's fine. It's a product of its time. The sax is cool. St. John, Steven Tyler's the sole writer. I like it. It's got like this weird beatnik vibe going on. It's interesting and unique. Hangman Jury, top song contender. I love it. It's bluesy. Great harmonica. The lyrics live rent free in my head. The changes the song goes through is chef's kiss. Good shit. Girl Keeps Coming Apart. Another one without any outside writers. It's okay. Nothing too special. Angel. It's overrated. It's Sign of Times to Come. It's my least favorite single from the Good Geffen trilogy of Permanent Vacation, Pump, Get a Grip. It's not bad. It's just not as good as what preceded and what's going to follow it. And I love the title track. It's got this Jamaican beachy feel to it, which fits the theme, and they kind of nail it. The backing Beach Boys inspired vocals on the chorus sell it. They did a much better job covering the Beatles with Come Together than they did I'm Down. This one's kind of boring, kind of a boring cover of the Beatles. The movie, it's a weird one. I've never liked it. It's a weird closing song. I've just never been a fan of it. It's way too long and not interesting for me. I got a soft spot for Permanent Vacation, though. I mean, nostalgia's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, some of the songs that I didn't think were going to age as well definitely held up, and vice versa. I liked Hearts Done Time. I do think it's interesting that Joe Perry wrote a song with Desmond Child. Steven Tyler wrote a song with Desmond Child. And then Tyler Perry wrote a song with Desmond Child. So there's definitely like some competition going on here. This one's Joe's. It opens the album. I didn't mind Magic Touch. It was just kind of there. Ragdoll's been living rent-free in my head since 1986. It's just a catchy song. The Jim Valance, who also helped co-write Magic Touch. I mean, they brought in all kinds of people on this album. He had a lot of Bryan Adams hits and deep cuts. So,
Big
you're going to start getting that Bryan Adams rock going.
Yeah, big Bryan Adams hits, too.
Yeah. Cimaraya, I thought was pretty good. Dude Looks Like a Lady, which is the Tyler Perry Desmond Child track, and is rumored to be about Vince Neil from Motley Crue.
Really?
That's what I've heard.
I've heard that
that
as well.
Steven walked up on Vince from behind and didn't know what he was in for.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And check out our Motley Crue Dogs of War review if you haven't seen that.
Right. We'll get to that discography too. But you know what? In the context of the album, I thought it held up really well. It's when I really noticed they are doing a lot of horns on this album. That's not really something they've done before. It's been very sparse, if it was. I liked St. John. I liked Hangman Jury. I thought that was a nice swampy little blues number. I liked Girl Keeps Coming Apart. There's nothing special about it, but it wasn't bad. Angel, however, is, like Jason said, the sign of what's to come. It is not a good... I couldn't make it. Especially knowing that the title track is right there. Permanent Vacation is a great song. I liked the I'm Down. Like, that's, yes, they're kind of riding on the coattails of having had a hit with a Beatles cover already. But this is kind of like not a typical song you would think people would cover.
Yeah,
and so,
this is a Ringo song, isn't it?
I think so. No, well, he might have sung it, but of course John and Paul wrote it.
Well, yeah.
It's an interesting choice. And then I also think it's an interesting choice that this is now the third album in a row. Well, that the whole band only wrote one song together, and it ends up closing the album. And going forward, I was struggling with a lot of the closing tracks. They usually the energy would drop off, and it would end up being kind of ballady, which goes back to some of those 70s albums too. Like, they definitely were doing that. So it is what it is. But yeah, it's I can see why this one was the breakthrough. The songs that are still played on the radio constantly definitely pop, and they still sound good. So yeah, it's a fun one.
Yeah, ranking these records, like I'm trying to look at them as a full album, and that's what this one's gonna. Oh, I can talk because I have to guess, right? It's my turn to guess.
I believe so.
Let me check here.
Brian went last.
Yeah,
Yep,
so it's my
your
turn to guess, so I can say whatever the fuck I want. Perfect.
Yes, you can.
But yeah, I
mean, you are the host. You could say whatever the fuck you want anytime, anyway. So
that's true. And what, Bill? Now's the time to what? Remind our viewers.
We're not scripted at all.
Well, that
Right?
too, but share us with all your friends, because
Oh yeah, the YouTube algorithm hates us. Trust us.
Yeah.
And we don't know each other's picks. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
Thumbs up.
I have a soft spot for Permanent Vacation. My favorite Aerosmith song in the entire discography is on this record. But on the other hand, there's a few misses on it too. Like usually I would stop the cassette after Permanent Vacation. Like I just I wouldn't listen to the last two. Sometimes I'd stop it before Angel.
Yeah, because if you flip the tape over, you were like just to right about where Ragdoll started, so you could skip Heart Stun Time and Magic Touch too, and just listen to the meat of the album.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I never really want to hear the last two songs. I can skip Angel and Dude Looks Like a Lady about half the time, but the rest of it I like. So it's a tough one. It's a tough one to rank for me, but I'm gonna say Tim. He likes it better than Rockin' a Hard Place and Done with Mirrors and the self-titled and Draw the Line and Night in the Ruts. I'm gonna say right there.
You're gonna be correct. That is where I have it.
All right. Bill likes it better than that. Better than Rockin' a Hard Place. He's removed Dream On and Kings and Queens, so they're better than those two.
You're not wrong.
Better than Night in the Ruts. I don't remember what you said about Get Your Wings.
I don't either.
So that means I think you like it better than Get Your Wings. Number 3. Final answer.
No.
Number 2.
No, wrong way.
Oh, okay.
It's behind Get Your Wings, number 4.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, no, it's not going that high. No. But better than some of the other stuff, but honestly, it's got good stuff. Compared to what we've been listening to recently, it has good stuff on it.
There is that. Go back and watch our very first video to watch our history and where we're coming from. This is Bill's first time through the discography, so you could see how, coming off the last two, this one sounds better than that. Saying that, I know Brian's got it above those two.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to have it up pretty high. I think, let's just skip right on over here. Number 4 as well?
I'll take number 4. That's good. That's correct.
Where did I have
Look
it?
at all of us.
I had a really hard time with number 4 and number 5 here. It's a good album for a lot of good reasons, but
I am breaking the mold.
That's all you've done
You're
this
going
entire
higher?
video.
Oh.
I'm putting it.
No, we're no longer every 2.
That's right.
That's some
Breaking
soft
the
spot.
mold. I do have a soft spot for it. The color code will tell all. I don't think this
Fair enough.
album holds up as well as some of the other ones. I think it's a product of its time. Like I said, my favorite Aerosmith song of all time comes off of it. But I'd rather listen to the 8 songs on the self-titled than I would. There's holes in Permanent Vacation for me. So that's where it's going to go. From this point on, my rankings are going to be way different than probably anybody else's, including the fans that are watching this.
Interesting.
Well,
Let us know down below what your favorite Aerosmith record is. Do you like Rocks better than Toys? Do you like Permanent Vacation better than Self-Titled? Do you think we're all dumb for putting Rock in a Hard Place and Done with Mirrors at the end? Let us know.
Wait till you see where we put Just Push Play.
Yeah. Number 1, baby. Pink is my favorite color. All right. Stick around. I guess we can briefly talk about the album cover. Hashtag bring back Is It Art. I like it. It's cool. It references some things, you know. It's better than Done with Mirrors.
It's got a lot going on.
I think it's their best album cover so far in their discography. I like that it looks like tattoo flash art.
Oh, yeah, it does look like tattoo flash art. See, if we was ranking our artwork, that might have knocked it down on me.
I think Toys in the Attic was the only other album cover that I really thought was really cool at this point in the discography.
Rockin' a Hard Place is pretty cool. I think the color scheme.
Yeah, I don't know if this is cooler than Stonehenge.
Yeah.
What's that computer program we used to use in like middle school or high school where you like
MS Paint?
I guess you create the background and you have like a list of like stock stuff you can like move over, like candles and stones. This looks kind of like one of those.
I could make a better Aerosmith cover with Mario Paint than this. Dude, I was a masterpiece at Mario Paint. Hell yeah. I had the mouse. I had the SNES mouse.
The Mario mouse?
Hell yeah.
Some of their best covers are their best album covers are from like compilation records, like Big Ones and Gems with the black and red. I think those are really cool. That kind of match their sound. I'm not digging most of these.
Yeah, Jim's is interesting. We could have mentioned it, but there's nothing new on it. But it is a pretty album cover. I had that on cassette, right, with the rest of them. And Live Classics 1 and 2. All right, up next, Pump. Give us a like, give us a subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Playlist link. You know the drill. Be safe. Check out our Patreon. We ain't plugged that in a while. And hit us up on Facebook, you old boomers. Steven Tyler's been in my DMs. I'll pass them along to you guys if you want. Be safe, make good decisions, and don't fall for scammers on Facebook.
Down was cool. It never did no after school.